Hi, I'm Jennifer Janet with Coldwell Banker Professional Associates. Today is Quick Tip Tuesday. What is a backup contract? Well, the scenario I'm going to share with you today is one that happens quite frequently in the real estate market, especially in today's current conditions. So this happens when a seller has already entered a contract with the buyer to sell their property. And then a second buyer wishes to make an offer and negotiate with that seller as a backup contract or second place to the previous contract that's already been accepted. Now, the backup contract is contingent upon termination of that first contract. I want to point out though that the seller is free to amend or extend any dates or parts of the contract with that first buyer. Having a backup contract does not force the seller or limit them in negotiating or amending that contract with the first buyer. Additionally, that second offer, even if it's a better offer than the first contract that's already in place, cannot automatically kick that buyer out. That first buyer still has precedence and they still will follow the deadlines and the agreements that they have within their offer. Only if the first offer terminates does that second place or does that backup contract then move up into the primary position. So this happens when the seller delivers that appropriate notice to the buyer that the first contract has failed. And at that point, that is when the dates within that backup contract that you have for financing, appraisal, inspections, or title survey start to take place, and the dates start then at that point. So as a backup contract, you are basically in second place, ready to go in the event that the first one would happen to fall through. Now, sometimes those first contracts do not fall through, but at least as a backup contract, you don't have to worry about possibly missing out on it a second time when it comes back on the market. There may be more competition that you're competing with and other buyers. So at this place, you're securely holding a position just in case something falls through with that first contract. Now, the backup buyer does have the right to terminate that backup contract by delivering the appropriate notice to the seller, as long as that is prior to the seller delivering the notice that their first contract is terminated. So if you find another home and the first contract is still going through okay and you haven't received notice from the seller that the first contract is terminating, then you may wish to remove or terminate your backup status. So if you'd like to discuss backup contracts and why you would consider entering into one, feel free to call, text, message, or comment below, and I will help you walk through the pros and cons of that. As always, when you think real estate, think Coldwell Banker Professional Associates.